From the great state of Texas, you are now listening to Skip the Noise podcast, a Rounded Edge media production. Thank you so much for joining us. And by us, of course, I'm referring to Rick, a.k.a. the Brown Python Ben, a.k.a. Mexican Nostradamus, and myself, Benjamin James, here for another tremendous episode. Shout out to Mike Tacklebox for the music. And to kick things off, we had mentioned, I think a couple of weeks ago, Ben, you were talking about the whole Zillow and the housing market, or maybe that was the episode I was absent from, and it was you and Rick talking about it. But talk about this online deal and what they're going to stop doing.
Well, I mean, everything. I mean, in the end, I basically call this shit again, right? I mean, it's this whole situation regarding Zillow. It's dried up. So what's going to happen now is that Zillow has basically decided to pull out of the housing market.
Dude,
oh boy,
it's dried up and it's pulled out, huh?
Yep, dried up and pulled out.
Man, we're off to a good start.
What else can I say? What else can I say, dude?
It's like dried up and pulled out.
It's like a world. It's like a world absent of the Notebook. Okay, it's dried up, and all you can do is just hope that maybe some roses work this time. But
is it rough?
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough, and it's sandpaper-like. But you know, beyond the sexual innuendos that the Brown Python is bringing up, we do have a complete collapse of Zillow's housing strategy, which was funded by the Chinese. And so what you're seeing now is Zillow has decided to stop purchasing and buying basically the whole home sale trade. 93% of the homes that they're selling now will be dramatically less than what they paid for it. They're laying off a quarter of their workforce, and their supposed losses are, well, they're saying 500 million, but we all know. We all fucking know whenever they say someone's losses is 500 million, it's probably closer to $1 billion. So once again, we see an over speculating market. Zillow tried to jump in, try to basically name their price by raising comps with these crazy sale prices, and their gamble failed because the Chinese basically dried up money with the Evergrande failures and everything, because their big capital partner were Chinese firms. So I kind of feel vindicated here. I feel like this is kind of the beginning of the end of this fucking housing market bullshit, which really needs to happen, right? Because this company, what they were doing, I really hope that one day we prosecute what they've done.
Yeah. So let's real quick, in case, you know, obviously we kind of picked this topic off because we brought it up a few shows ago, but if you have no idea what we're talking about, Zillow, Ben, just explain like what it is, and how it ties in.
Well, basically Zillow they started off as like a value house listing type website. So if you go onto Zillow, let's say you type in your address, you're going to get an overall estimate of what your home is worth. Well, in the last 2 to 3 years, they decided, well, why not get into the housing market? So with a sudden influx of cash, they began buying up homes during the pandemic and buying homes at very high prices. I mean, 25 to 30% more than what the market values were. So once they started doing that, they started establishing these crazy comps in neighborhoods. And since they were the number one website where people go to find out what the value of their home is, they essentially created like this kind of false market, almost just, it was a very intricate game that they played nonetheless. So you go on Zillow, type in your address, see how much your house is worth. Now, unfortunately, it's showing that your house is worth 25 to 30% more than real market values. So that's kind of the beginning of what Zillow did. They played this high comp game, and now they're going to lose a quarter of their workforce. They're like I said, they said 500 million losses, probably closer to $1 billion. And it just so happens, you know, once you saw all the Chinese real estate firms drying up right now, like Evergrande, there's several other subsidiaries that cannot pay their bills. So it's just kind of a clusterfuck. It's just what was been driving up our home market.
It seems kind of counterintuitive for a business to, you know, everyone must just buy low, sell high. It sounds like these guys were buying high and selling higher.
You know, exactly. They were buying high to create a false demand. So imagine if someone goes into any market and says, I want to pay $1,000 for that peanut. What? That peanut's worth fucking 2 pennies. Why want to pay $1,000 for it? Why? Well, it's a very valuable peanut. All peanuts are valuable.
Mhm.
Essentially, what they were doing was trying to drive up these market and comp cost in every neighborhood, because the only people that could afford to purchase them were a lot of times these commercial real estate companies that were all being funded, like Blackrock Capital, Evergrande. All these people were buying them up because in China, money is not real.
Right.
Yeah.
They just print that shit. They have complete monetary, I guess, what is it? Manipulation.
Control?
And manipulation. So
Yeah.
yeah, they can print money. It doesn't matter. And they control value because they manipulate their currency. So essentially,
Also, they
that's
have a lot
what
of leverage in the world. I mean, they're literally the world's factory, so they have leverage there.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
But basically, they were creating this market like that.
if you're Venezuela or Zimbabwe and you print money like the way China did, you're gonna go under.
Oh shit! If
But-
you're United States, you print money like China does, you're
Right.
gonna go under. I mean, these guys are
I mean,
fucking.
we're doing it now.
Well, no. We don't have cities that could have 13, 14 million people that are completely vacant. Like, don't get me wrong. I know we're not the most financially, fiscally sound country, but we're not doing what fucking China does. I mean,
Well, the other thing is we're outrunning it, just like China was. We're outrunning it because we're the leaders. We created the biggest ball, like, you know what I mean? The biggest snowball of hay or whatever the fuck. And
Snowball of hay.
we keep outrunning it because we're also bringing in the most out of any other country by far. Like, have you ever seen those graphs where they show the GDP of like America versus like,
oh yeah, remember we
it's
talked about that.
it's basically like the United States, and then
no,
everybody else combined is second place. Like,
Yeah.
it's absurd.
well, we're $20 trillion
Every-
GDP.
That's what I'm saying. Like, everybody kind of knows that in theory, but when you actually put the numbers down and you really look at how, but anyway, my point being is that, yeah, you can outrun it if you've got the funds, you know what I mean? It's all about stocks and all this shit. So you can keep the thing going to a point, but
Right.
depending on how much, how much gasoline you have to keep the fucking motor going.
Exactly.
But once you don't have gas anymore,
Well,
So I wonder.
that's it.
I had a friend of mine who moved to Dallas for a job, and
Oh, he's stupid.
Well,
I'm sorry.
No, well, anyway,
He's fucking retarded.
I know I have a friend too that moved there, but it was
That
for
friend
something
is
else,
also
but
stupid and retarded.
he's stupid too.
Yeah.
but he had to offer like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 above asking just to compete in the market.
So your friend, is he on the spectrum or?
Oh,
What do you mean? Like,
Why? I don't understand this, but continue. Okay.
well,
So
the
he had
thing
to
was
pay.
that it was so hard to find a house
Harsh.
up in Dallas.
Well, right. Well, because this is the city that morons built, and when it comes down to it, there's no way anyone should pay more than $8.95 for a home here. It's fucking hot. There's no water, and the average reading ability is around second grade. So,
Okay.
like, when
All right,
you
but there's
look at
jobs,
these things,
all right? There's
where?
jobs.
Not here. Yeah, for $15 an hour. I mean, the tech
No.
industry has no. The tech industry has moved all their grunt jobs here. Google and Facebook moved all their like $15 an hour jobs here because nobody fucking wants to live here. Let's just say I know a very massive corporation that moved its headquarters from San Francisco to here. When they did the transfer of the 100%, so we're talking about 100% of the employees coming from San Francisco, they brought 6%
Of
their workers. So they offered everybody massive packages, basically buying them homes, whatever they basically almost what they wanted. And only 6% of them took the offer to move to tech, to move to DFW. So
if you're a new
just be quite honest.
listener, just hold up real quick. If you're a new listener, Ben and I are both from. There's a Houston Dallas bias, obviously, and
yeah,
Ben years ago moved to the Dallas Fort Worth
I was
area.
forced here. I was forced here like a fucking no. I was
wasn't
forced.
really
I
by
don't think
his
you were
own choice.
forced. If I
was
remember
forced.
correctly, you followed like a cow on a
I had
slaughterhouse.
no choice. I was exactly. That was
Yeah,
just
that's
like
about what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you
know
found
what?
like a happy cow in a slaughterhouse. That's
You
what
are
you did.
right. You are right. And you know what? When you're right, brown python. I was that dumbass cow being led to the pen
Like,
right before somebody hit me with that rod with the 22 round in it. Okay. So nonetheless, but right. You're seeing this crazy inflated market prices, and that was caused by this. First off, this crazy FOMO fear that everyone has right now, right? The fear of missing out is huge. Zillow, Red Door, all these other kind of real estate appraisal online companies have completely tried to take advantage of it by upping comps, buying houses at crazy prices. I mean, I have a friend who sold his house. I believe it's Red Door. They gave him,
Redfin, no?
Redfin. I read Redfin. Yeah. I'm sorry, Redfin. Sold his house. Like, okay, so his appraisal when he sold the house to Redfin was like $325,000. Redfin bought his house for $465,000.
What?
No, cash. I saw this. I didn't believe him. He showed me this shit. And I was like, that makes no financial sense, but it does. Is if you are Redfin and you are bought other houses in that neighborhood, and then you start buying a couple to shoot the comps up.
Yes. It's like you get them, you put a sale, you lose money on shit you have for sale.
Yep.
So you can get them to buy
exactly. All you need is a couple of crazy comps. So they bought a couple of houses at regular price, and then buy one or two crazy comp houses, and then that shoots the price. This shoots the price of that whole neighborhood up, which is why you are seeing in the DFW area, like there's I don't know how else to explain this except for just sheer stupidity. There's human beings that are paying what people are asking for a house right now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a financial wizard, right? I'm not Dave Ramsey. I'm not fucking Elon Musk, but I am a cheap motherfucker. And I have never in my life paid what someone has asking price, because
for fucking anything,
let
alone a house,
which if you understand, if you pay MSRP on a house, like if you pay what someone asks for a house, you are already down 10 to 15%. And we're not even talking about the closing costs, the fees, everything you're paying into that house. You will not be able to move from that home without breaking even for probably in a normal market 4 to 5 years. You basically fucked yourself. So there are people not only paying asking, but lopping 10% more on top of the house, like you're talking about your friend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
well, he's a guy I know, but
the guy you know, he's like, no,
well, I mean, he's not really
with his financial decisions. I don't know if he's my friend anymore after what you've explained. But in that's madness. But you want to hear even more madness is that banks have wised up to it. So over the last year, let's say Jim wants to buy a house that's on sale for $500,000, but has to pay $550 because he has to pay 10% over asking.
Yeah.
But the house is only appraised for $390. So now Jim's out $160,000 cash.
Yeah.
Because the bank's only going to finance $390 of it, of that home purchase.
So
then he's still not only the $160,000 to make up the difference, but then fucking Jim also has to come up with the 10 or 20% down payment for the loan of the home. So all in all, he's going to put somewhere around $220,000 down on this home and be out immediately $160,000 that you're never getting back. Jim, you're never getting that back. No, you might as well go and commit seppuku. But that's what's happening. And that's what companies like Redfin, Zillow have done to this housing market. And it's fucking criminal.
Wow.
Criminal.
Dude, well, I mean, Zillow's out because China's not giving them any more money.
Exactly.
Because they're dry. BlackRock.
It's the same thing. BlackRock Capital right now is suffering serious losses. If you look at their stock portfolio, it's gone to shit.
That was a stupid gamble though, man.
No,
it was a stupid gamble. How are you going to buy high and then buy higher? I mean,
because
it doesn't work that way.
Well, what happens if your gamble was never really to be profitable, but to be disruptive to a country?
I don't know. You think so?
No. You talk about
Really?
China. That's playing 4D chess. What is
That's
the
expensive,
American
though.
dream? It doesn't matter if money doesn't mean anything. What is the American dream? Plain and simple.
Yeah, to own property,
A
buy a
home.
house.
To have a home. If you take that away, what does that do to the American populace?
It
They're not Americans anymore. They're like
Exactly.
just the fucking.
And it pisses you off. It disgruntles the populace. It allows them to be subverted easier because the country they grew up in, where their parents had homes, now they can have a home, makes them easier to be subverted. I'm
Bro,
telling
that's
you guys,
exactly-
this
dude, that
shit
already
is a
happened.
nightmare.
That already happened.
Yep.
Look what happened. How do you think Trump rose to power?
Oh yeah,
Because that's a
Oh, boy.
reality.
Oh, my
exactly.
goodness.
Well,
Here we
not
go
just
again.
Trump, but look how Biden
No,
rose
but
to
he,
power.
Rick,
Look
I'm
at
not
Biden,
even.
too.
Hold on a second, but hold on. I'm not even criticizing. Like, I mean, not that I wouldn't criticize Trump, but I'm saying in that instance, I wasn't really criticizing. I'm just saying he spoke to a populace that was pissed off, and but that's how that happened.
Yeah.
That's
No, you're
why.
right.
That's why you have that. That's why
Yep.
the generations didn't overlap, and you're not doing better than your parents because the whole thing is rigged, and it's all.
Actually,
it's getting worse and worse and worse.
I was looking back at the Republican debates from 2016.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, Benjamin, you're right. Trump would just speak whatever everyone was saying, was thinking. Like
Oh,
these
yeah.
politicians who were polished, they were saying the right things, following the unwritten rules, and Trump wasn't. And that's why he won.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But,
and he did. He played off of populist
Dude,
fears.
I mean, look how things are going now.
oh,
I
dude,
mean,
we elected Biden. But right, the reality is as much as we all want to say like, oh, hey, fuck, Trump was a fucking dumbass, dude. We elected the another fucking dumbass. I mean, this guy is a fucking complete. Like, this is Weekend at Bernie's, the Biden edition. We've been saying this shit. I was saying this shit from the fucking during the Democratic
from the
primaries.
election.
Oh, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Some fucking from fucking Fox News took my shit. I know she took my shit.
What did she
She's
say? What
the
did she
only
say?
one. She said, "Oh, Weekend at Bernie's, that's Biden."
Bro,
You
70
fucking know I
70
thought
we-
that
this is-
shit.
This is the 73rd edition of the Skip the Noise podcast. Go back, check the history. See
Dude,
if
we're
he's
talking
right.
about episode 3 or 4, like
Fuck,
very
yeah,
early,
right
on,
in the
dude.
beginning. Weekend at Bernie's. So fuck,
Dude,
that.
right? Fuck whoever that. Fuck you. I know you
Is
heard
it-
it. I know you got it.
is
Fox
it
News.
definitely-
Fuck.
Kaylee
Definitely-
McEnany? Because if she
definitely-
stole it, I'm all for it, man.
You know what? Fuck you. Okay.
She can steal whatever she wants. brother.
She can steal whatever she
I think I
wants.
trademarked that bitch.
She
Oh,
already
you know
stole
what?
my
I
heart,
trademarked
man.
that shit. You know what? You got problems. You know what? I'm about integrity, and here goes a brown python trying to just weasel in another one. But yeah. So, we that's what's led to all this. A complete subversion of our culture and our dream has led to just 2 horrible back-to-back presidents.
Oh, the only reason Biden got elected was because he's
The
not Trump.
antithesis, yeah,
like
to
the
Trump.
only reason. Like everybody knows that the Democratic Party knew that. No,
Jesus.
honestly,
I know.
they knew specifically to put a lame duck out front because that's the one that was the ticket to winning.
Yep.
They didn't put
A
You know what I mean?
trailblazer, someone who was going to change things up.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was all I'm not even, I feel dumb even going over this again because this is like obvious facts. But yes, that's exactly what happened. He was the obvious candidate because he was a fucking nothing.
Oh,
without
dude.
saying
He
I
was
mean,
just like
he's-
blah. He's meh. He's that fucking meh
if meh was a fucking
person.
Human
That's him.
being.
You know, I had a cousin. Well, I saw a cousin, right? But my cousin's
Is
a
that the
total
one that
Trump
moved to
supporter.
Dallas?
No. This
Yeah.
is another one. He moved to San Antonio. Worse.
Oh no, that's even
Oh.
worse. Oh,
He moved to the hood of Texas.
Oh, he did. He did. Just
No,
so he
I'd
could
much
hang
rather.
out.
No. You know what?
Yeah, well,
Skip the
bro.
noise. Skip the noise. Factual
Exclusive
propaganda.
Dun, 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 dun,
Definitely, I'm going San
dun.
Antonio.
One.
over
Okay,
Dallas,
if I had to choose fucking DFW or San Antonio, I'm going fucking San
all
Antonio
fucking day.
all day long. And you know what? So much so that I'll probably buy like a season pass to watch them just beat the shit out of those poor fucking.
You know what? Check this out.
Shamus and shit there, dude.
Next episode,
I'm
gonna call it right now, and I'm gonna commit it to us because saying it to next episode. Let's rank them. Let's go. Obviously, we know number
bro,
one.
We can't.
Number
do
one's
that
not a question.
Episode.
No?
We have to do it now. You've already done this. You've already sparked it. Okay,
Let's
number
go.
fucking one.
Real quick. This is
H-Town.
spitboat.
No fucking
stupid. We did.
Yeah.
That's not even like that's actually. It's like saying who's the greatest NFL receiver. Jerry Rice. Okay, it's Jerry Rice, but everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fucking
right.
H-Town.
So Houston,
number one. Number fucking two, without a doubt. Also, I'd have to say
you have
Austin. Pure.
Okay.
Simple.
All right.
Austin.
Hey,
You can't fuck with Austin.
That holds up.
I don't know. I mean, Austin back in the
Who's your
2000s
number
was
two?
super awesome.
Well, okay, but tell me
Austin
number two.
now, with the San Francisco crowd there, it's probably like number 10 for me.
Oh my God, really? Okay, give me a number two. Give me a number two.
Honestly, number two, I'll tell you what number two is, and you're gonna be surprised. I think El Paso. Yes, and I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. No, I got it. If you're an outdoorsy person,
Wrong.
El Paso is actually a very nice place if you're an outdoorsy person. The weather's nice. It's not humid.
No, it's not. It's a desert, motherfucker.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
I love the desert.
People die from dehydration there. What the fuck is happening here? Okay. Barring the brown python's mental, like you just had a stroke when you said that. You're like, like, that's what happened. Okay. Number fucking two. Okay,
maybe
West,
top
man.
10. Maybe top 10. El Paso.
I'll throw
maybe top 10.
Six. Top six.
Okay,
El Paso.
okay.
I'll give that.
Look,
How about
you're
we? How
closer
about
to San Diego in El Paso than you are to Houston? Just to let you
Dude,
know.
you don't even fucking like California. You call it commie for it.
No, it's true. But San Diego is
That's what
mostly
you
red.
call it. So now you want to be. So now you're a socialist.
No. I like San Diego. It's a beautiful city. It's mostly red.
Fucker.
There's an army base there. They know how to keep it real.
Okay.
I won't go to LA or San Francisco or Sacramento.
Okay.
Oh,
San
those are
Francisco's
horrible
fucking
places.
great. Hey, I don't know
No,
what the
it's
fuck
not.
you're talking about. Fisherman's Wharf, Alcatraz. Fuck off.
No, if you wanted
Fuck off. Yeah,
Fuck
giant
off.
redwood trees. Give me a fucking break, bro. That's just the tits, man.
Nah,
Anyways,
man.
Yeah, it's
So-
a fun place to visit.
so fucking two. Okay, we'll leave the debate on of number two. Three. This is where it gets hairier.
If you're not going, so here's my input on
Oh,
that.
boy.
Yeah.
I can live with
Give me
Austin
six.
being number two. I can live
Yeah.
with Austin just because
Right.
of significance. But let me tell you something honestly.
Yeah.
Where would I rather go?
Right.
San Antonio. I like going to San Antonio better than I like going.
I like
to Austin.
that. Hold on, I'm gonna look up number of cities in Texas.
Oh, I know what Ben's number 3 is going to be.
Oh, what is that?
Amarillo, because you're like that.
Amarillo by morning. Yeah, he loves Amarillo.
Oh, I know, man. He just talks about it all the fucking time.
You know,
Amarillo's so
I'm
awesome.
gonna be real
Dairy
honest too.
Queen.
I'm gonna be really honest too.
Oh, there's two. Okay, hey guys,
I can't really say too much.
966 cities in Texas. Just to throw that out there.
Okay, and I'm pretty. I have to say, I'm pretty biased to.
Oh, what's your three?
South and Southeast Texas because I don't know
Yeah.
a whole lot about like Amarillo and Lubbock and shit. I've never
Yeah.
really been that far, but I've been that. Never mind. Fuck it. What's your number 3, Ben?
Dude, fuck all y'all. Corpus Christi.
Okay, no, that was
come
Corpus was going to
on.
be top 5
Corpus.
for me.
Oh no!
Fucking
Come on,
Christi,
you
bro.
got at least a salt powder.
Snoopy's
That's not
by
crazy.
the bay.
That's
You
not
got
crazy.
Snoopy's. You got a beach. You got a decent place.
Man,
that's not
Great,
crazy at
dude.
all.
Got the breeze coming in. Fucking
Yeah.
rocket.
Yeah,
You
no,
could
it
get
is.
a salt powder, man.
It's
And
windier
it's
than
not-
Chicago.
Dude,
Fuck,
I'd throw
Chicago's
South
it's not the
Padre in
fucking
top
windy
5.
city. Chicago's not the fucking windy city.
No,
It's
it's
Corpus.
not, dude. It's Corpus, bro.
Corpus is way
You know
windier
what?
than
They got a
Chicago.
fucking
I'm okay with
battleship
that.
there. The fucking food. Oh, you want to have some Mexican food? You can the bakeries there. Shit, that's good shit, dude. Yeah, man, they got great bakeries in
It's a good place.
Corpus
Cool.
Christi, bro.
So Rick, what's your
What's your
struggling?
three?
You're
My
struggling
number 3
to
would be
accept
salt
that.
powder. Salt
You know,
powder.
dude,
Yeah.
I you know what? I will concede a tie. They're relatively close to each other. I
But
can
the water's
say
bluer in
Corpus
Salt
Christi.
Padre, though.
Same
Well, yeah,
region.
no shit. Anything, yeah, of course. But I would give it a tie. I would say Corpus Christi has a little bit more people. You know, I just think that that's a great area. I love that area. My mom's family's from there. Great area. I love Corpus Christi. I always fucking love that place. 4.
Wait, Benji, what's your number 3?
Number 3. So I'm actually gonna go Houston, San Antonio, Austin. So I'll put Austin. I'll put Austin as my 3.
I can respect that. I can respect Austin.
But I think I'll hang with Ben on Corpus as 4.
Yeah. I like. Okay, so 5. Who's okay? So we got to get now. We got to get into the woods. Where's 5? Who's 5?
Beaumont.
Oh, bro, Beaumont's pretty tits, dude.
Oh man,
like I said, I'm biased.
Beaumont's kind of tits, dude.
Why don't you just say Jasper, Texas? I mean, come on.
Oh, bro, no, that is not.
I mean, why don't you just say that,
dude?
I mean,
Jasper,
Beaumont,
Texas is ranking in the 800s, bro. That's like I think just slightly above Dallas Fort Worth.
Golden Triangle. Yeah, I guess if so, I say Beaumont. I'm probably kind of referring to the Golden Triangle. Beaumont, Port Arthur,
PAT,
Orange.
all that. Yeah, that's good shit, man. That's good shit. So okay, all right, I could dig that.
It's kind of like Louisiana, but it's still Texas.
Yeah, I could take that. I could
mean?
definitely, dude. I'm all in. I think that's great. I think that's great.
It's kind of shitty. It's kind of shitty in the same way Houston's shitty, but like I like it. I don't know. So, all right, go ahead. Yeah, what's some sleeper? What's some sleeper?
Okay, sleeper towns for me. I would say Fredericksburg. Fucking
okay.
dope.
So if we're getting in kind of smaller
Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, seriously, we know who's dead last. It's definitely Dallas, Fort Worth. They rank 966. No, they do. They rank 966.
That's not true.
It is. Okay, 965.
Maybe
okay,
Viter for dead last.
No, dude. I think DFW
Viter's
takes
got
Viter.
bad
bro.
energy.
No, bro. DFW takes Viter by far. Viter's like 782, and DFW is 966. I'm looking at an official list here, and DFW is 966. I'm sorry, guys. I don't make these things up. Okay, it's on the internet. It clearly states of all the cities in Texas. Oh, actually, no, there's only 961 cities in Texas, but somehow DFW is 966. I mean, so Rick, I don't know how that happens.
I got to ask you, you've got a little bit different perspective being from Laredo. Where are you at? What's up? Where are you at on your list?
Dude,
like, let's recap real quick. 1 through 5.
964.
My list. My number 1 was of course Houston.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And
all right. So we can all.
Yeah,
okay. I'm glad we can all ride.
Number 2 was El Paso. Number 3 was South Padre.
Yeah.
Number 4, I'm gonna have to say Kerrville. Kerrville, still going out west. Kerrville.
Yeah.
It's right at the edge of the hill country.
Yeah. Beautiful place. I give you that.
It actually, hill country is pretty.
It's
badass.
Gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Kerrville is cool. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have to. Yeah.
Maybe San Antonio number 5. I'm gonna say that.
Okay. Yeah, that's
a good.
We all
like
I
San
have to rank it
Antonio.
at like number 100. Number 100 out of 900 because the food's still good.
It's
I
still
don't know if it's safe anymore.
dude.
I haven't been there in almost 20 years.
This coming from the guy who just ranked El Paso in the top 5. Really?
El Paso is one of the safest cities in America.
By whose standards?
I don't know crime statistics.
I don't know Walmart. I mean, don't go to fucking Walmart there with the guys driving from DFW.
They got crossover violence from DFW into El Paso.
Exactly, which is why DFW is 966 out of 961 cities.
We get crossover violence. It's horrible. But El Paso is actually a very nice city. It's a gateway to the west. It's very outdoorsy.
That drive though. That drive to El Paso is madness.
You can fly from El Paso Airport to anywhere in the West. Yellowstone, Washington State, Oregon, California. You can fly anywhere.
Yep.
If you don't want to fly, just drive anywhere in the West.
True. Well, and if you come, the best part, like if you come in from Louisiana and you cross the Sabine River and the first sign you see is, like the distances to like whatever cities, they always put El Paso just to fucking
to mess with you.
just to fuck with you. Yeah, because like it is. It's kind of a fuck you. Like, look how big our fucking state is. Like, you ain't getting here. You got another 12,000 miles to go, like, or whatever the fuck it is. It's like you cross the river and it's like Houston, whatever, fucking 75 miles, and then it goes El Paso for no reason. Like nobody, like,
yeah, right. No
like there isn't a reason to put how long that is. You see what I'm saying? The only reason that's on there is to show you like, oh, like, yeah, end to end. This fucking, it's like 5 fucking.
I got one for y'all. Y'all.
One last thing. If you drive from Houston to El Paso, and you're gonna be like thinking, oh man, Google says I'm gonna get there at 12. Fucking awesome. So you're driving, and then you pass a time zone, and you go back.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so
how fucking far it is. You're crossing time zones.
Yeah. You cross a time.
Right? Texas,
so
like translation, Texas is big as fuck as far as landmass.
Oh, I got one for y'all. Y'all need to be ready.
Go for it. What do you got?
Bronzeville, motherfuckers.
Okay.
Oh, come
dude,
on.
I love Bronzeville.
What number are you at?
I'm at, dude, that's not my size. Like 6, 7. Dude, Bronzeville, first off, dope ass fucking food. The food in Bronzeville is really good. I mean, it's very good.
Everybody's brown in Bronzeville.
Very good. Okay, this is not true. This is not true. There are plenty of white people in Bronzeville. First off, the food's great. Nice people, and to be quite honest with you, the like the Chicano art scene there. I know it is. Well, there's a reason why they called it that.
No, it's just.
But like the Chicano art scene there is that really big. Like it's huge. There's a lot of Latin American art there, and so it's a good city, man. I have to give it up. I have to say I do enjoy Bronzeville quite a bit. I do like that. So I think we did pretty good. I think those are good cities. So
nice, yeah.
As we fucking have completely deviated.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got.
Let's maneuver back into something that's a little more in the headlines beyond the fact that DFW is 966.
Or maybe would appreciate that. Also,
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty sure if you compare DFW to Mogadishu, they're pretty close to each other. But I'm sorry. I digress.
Mogadishu.
Well, it's bright. Hey, I know what.
At least Mogadishu has a beach, man.
Can we?
Okay, so fuck. Now DFW's dropped lower. I forgot they had a beach. Fuck, Rick. You can't even compare them. Maybe Sodom and Gomorrah. I'm sorry.
Well, let's talk. Hey, I know what to do. Let's lighten the mood. Lighten the mood, and let's talk about it.
I'm gonna lighten my mood.
Let's talk about abortion.
Oh fuck, great. I love how we just lighten the moods. This is a big one. Brett Kavanaugh, the illustrious high school rapist, has
not proven,
made an amazing assertion in regards to this. So
allegedly.
he took the concept of the Texas law, right? The fact that you can basically incorporate private citizens in lawsuits to impact policy. And then he said, well, what would keep people from doing this against guns, a religion? How this particular law subsects, the federal court system and the structure. Exactly. So this is a dangerous law. And so now the Supreme Court is weighing in on it. I think Brett Kavanaugh basically shattered the law in one question. I don't see how this law can do anything else. This is unconstitutional.
Yeah, of course. I always thought it was. They're trying to. No, really, it was, because how are you going to use private citizens to enforce a law,
right?
In the civil courts.
Right.
But they've been, like I said, they've already been doing this, where they let private companies enforce or suppress certain rights that people have.
Well, this is different.
Media.
This is different. This is completely different. No, it's not. The social media can't file lawsuits against things like that. This is not this.
But
this
is
ban
you and stop you from talking.
No, but that's different though. There's something that's different though. They can ban you from their own platform, but they cannot take you to court to sue you to stop you from talking. And so this is where this comes in. This is a different game. And it's very terrifying because imagine if California does that. Let's say a bunch of liberal states got together and said, oh, okay, well, anyone who can manufactures or sells an AR-15 in the state will get, if we find out that you do it from anywhere, it's $10,000 fine. Same, I think they've already just put AR-15 instead of abortion, or put in Christianity instead of abortion. This leads to a very dangerous precedent. This was a dumb, socially irresponsible idea from Texas government.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm glad that it was talked about, that it's before the Supreme Court. But I mean, some states are already doing that. You can sue the gun manufacturers if your family member gets killed by a Smith & Wesson or a Colt, or Sig Sauer. They find out that those are the gun manufacturer that killed your family member or your friend or whatever. You can sue those gun manufacturers in certain states now.
Well,
that's already.
That's only if there's some type of so that's more okay. So that's not necessarily how it's occurred. That's just, there are state attorney generals who have gone after gun manufacturers, but when it comes to like private individuals suing, that hasn't been as, I mean, from what I know, and now of course you may have a better thing. From what I've seen though, private individuals suing has not been the big thing. It's been like state actors that have done it. Like, state attorney generals have gone over gun manufacturers. But imagine now, every AR-15 sold has a $10,000 lawsuit attached to it. And you could sue the gun shop owner. See, that's really what would kill it, would be you could literally paralyze small business, because I'm not trying to dehumanize abortion, but abortion clinics are essentially businesses that are being shut down because it's not profitable or attainable to run said business. Now, imagine this law gets turned against other businesses, aka gun shops, aka churches, anything else that social tide wants to take out. This is ultimately a very dangerous precedent. I mean, think about it.
I agree with that. I do. I think you're right. And I think Brett Kavanaugh had a point there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. Some blue state, I mean, they will do it. They will do
it.
They will.
With
free speech.
Think about all the gunshots. Think about all the gun shops in the state get shut down because of a law like this. And it's very irresponsible. And it's being done without any foresight, any forethought of what could possibly occur.
But you know what? It was bound to happen. Whether it's a blue state or red state, this shit was about to happen. And I'm glad it's being discussed with the Supreme Court now.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the Supreme Court handles it. I think they're going to shoot it down. The big case, though, when it comes to abortion that everyone needs to keep an eye out will be in December, which I believe I forgot the state. It's Alabama, Missouri, somebody, where they're contesting the viability of a fetus and saying 16 weeks. I think, guys, this was the one. This is the one that will overturn Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade, I believe, dictates 24 weeks. I think this Supreme Court's going to knock it down to 16.
But even so, I mean, you can pretty much get an abortion anywhere in this country, can't you? At any point?
No, you cannot. So that's the point. So in states where it's deemed medical emergencies, etc., if Roe versus Wade's turned around, it gives precedence to limit abortions to a certain time frame. So right now it's 24 weeks. 16 weeks, I think, will be the new bar that this Supreme Court's going to establish.
Nice. Wow.
And in Texas,
it's 6 weeks in fucking Texas with this madness.
6 weeks. And not only that, it excludes like rape.
Oh, I know. That's the most fucked up
like
part.
That's for people,
it's horrible.
For people outside of the, whatever reporting range of this issue. Well, nobody is really, it's worldwide, but you know what I mean? Like the details of it. Yeah.
A bunch of Cali.
This law, this shit. Yeah, we do.
California.
But this is dead fucking serious. Rape excluded from.
That's fucked up. That's so fucked up. I mean, it's hilariously fucked up.
That's drawn. It is. It is hilariously fucked up, and that's the whole. That's what's fucked up is that's the whole point.
Yep.
That it's hilariously fucked up, and that there's with the private citizen, like it's enforced by, potential lawsuits or whatever the fuck. That's a whole new. Yeah, it's a whole new concept, and it's just this continuous path to fucking dictatorships and or not dictate, that's not the word I'm looking for, authoritarian fucking governments. So it's the direction.
Yep.
That's where it's going, and it's coming from both sides too. If you notice that, it's coming from both sides, and it's closing in on 45-degree angles from either side.
Yep.
Left and right, and it's all headed the same fucking direction. So if you don't wake up and see that.
Yep. I agree.
Did you guys realize that the Third Amendment was violated during the COVID pandemic? Where the CDC decided that people who were renting apartments or homes didn't have to pay their rent because they didn't want to be evicted. That was essentially the government telling landlords you have to quarter people without any kind of reimbursement.
Not completely wrong.
Yep.
Right? And so some of these people may have been solders. Okay, so now you get into the real part of the Third Amendment, which hasn't really been talked about since it was probably written. But now you have the government telling you, okay, you got to quarter this soldier in this house because I'm telling you to. I'm surprised that never came up before the Supreme Court. I never thought the Third Amendment was kind of like the flyover amendment that you could always forget, during school, and you're like, oh, whatever, that's never going to happen. What fucking happened, dude? In our lifetimes, can you believe that shit?
I don't know.
Anyway,
I know.
It goes back to Benjamin's statement about authoritarianism.
Yeah.
They've validated something as innocuous as the Third Amendment, which has not been discussed ever. And no one's ever had to worry about it. You're like, man, come on, what is that going to happen? The government's going to tell me to quarter troops in my house? Well, the CDC can tell you to quarter troops in your property for COVID. So
troops fighting the good fight, fighting the good fight and not getting sick.
I mean, it may not be active duty at the moment, but they're still troops, and they're still telling you to put them in your house for free. So anyway, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can
Anyway, just want to put that out there about authoritarianism. It's
you can shape for sure. You can shape that ball of clay into a terracotta warrior, however you feel. But no, it's true, man. That's the direction everything's going. It's more and more. You have to do this, have to do that, and if we can, man. I want to talk a little bit about this. We went crazy on the text thread. It's funny because I didn't really get to participate in it because I was busy. I was working or some shit. But y'all are going off about Ben had discovered in 2014.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
So
a big
debate, with the CDC and Fauci and all this stuff. Is all this shit about whether or not there was knowledge of gain of function research going on, which means basically accelerating the model of a virus or whatever to basically what they're doing is make it worse so they can study it, right? Y'all are the pharmacists, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that essentially what that is, right?
Yes. Gain of function.
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, gain of function is essentially they get a virus that is not transmissible to humans. And some stupid scientists will be like, hey, what if we make this transmissible to humans? And they manipulate this virus so that something that would have affected bats or dogs or cats or simians is now going to affect humans, which never would have happened in nature, never would have occurred. And these asshole scientists will go ahead and manipulate that virus to make it transmissible to humans. And voila, we have AIDS and COVID-19. Anyway, go ahead.
Damn, big words. But the point was, so in 2014, they put the red light on that shit. But so in 2017, with Obama,
the Obama administration went ahead and stopped funding for gain of function research.
Stopped funding, right? So they stopped the funding. But so in 2017, with Trump in office, it was once again funded, or it was released to become, funded again, right? For gain of function research. So
well,
Ben took
oh bro, I went to fucking
Okay.
work with an ice pick on this motherfucker, because the truth is we all know the Trump came into office and just basically, okay, so Obama, you say what you want, but he took a very common sense approach. Fauci and them approached him and said, oh, we want to work on this virus thing. And he's like, whoa, we just had SARS. We had MERS. We had all this shit happen, but you want to go and fucking fuck with viruses so that you can make them more deadly, or you can see if they can transmittable? No. And he shot it down. Well, what's the first thing that Orange Head does? He just approves it. He literally approved the research it did cause this coronavirus outbreak. He approved it because he approved the gain of function research that occurred in Wuhan, because that's what Fauci was working on. That's what he approved. All these people are talking all this shit about this and that, and Trump this, and Trump doesn't want to, he doesn't care. But he's the one that fucking started it. To me, it's amazing.
So here's the thing, though. Don't you? Okay, so when you said this, I actually went on Google, and tried to research some sort of association between the White House and the NIH and this funding to gain research, and I couldn't really find it. And I'm thinking to myself, why would the mainstream media not attach Trump's name to this when they have every opportunity to?
Because it's been okay, right? And I get what you're saying.
I couldn't find an article.
It's you can look Washington Post, New York Times, they all did articles. And in 2014, a lot of this was scrubbed. All you gotta do is go look. 2014 was the article I actually referenced, was from the New York Times. So it's not hard to find. But the reality is he did it. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well,
he definitely did it. He definitely did it. So yeah, I don't know that. Okay. Well,
I'm trying to
Rick's just showing a bunch of fun stuff on the screen. So it's very simple to see what happened. I mean, dude, you just look at 2014. Obama said no. Trump said yes. Next thing you know, we have a coronavirus. Dude, fucking Trump started this shit. So for all you fucking people out there that are just Trump, he was cute, and you all been had. The reason why, see, the complicity that Trump showed at the beginning of the pandemic was because he was part of the problem. I mean, don't you, Operation Warp Speed? I mean, he was the one that fucking started it. It was his decision that made Corona. So all of you fucking diptards out there who think that this guy did anything, he caused this problem. Whereas the president that you didn't like because he was black, he said no. Barack Obama literally stopped Corona, but as soon as fucking dumbass takes pole position, he's like, yeah, that's fine. And then he's so complicit because he knows that he caused it. You guys, we've all been fucking.
It's kind of like a. Do you think he had like an oh shit moment? Is that what?
I guarantee you. Think about
for sure,
because
he didn't know. I guarantee you. Check this out. I guarantee you, because they all have to pitch him, right? Because they need his signature. So you imagine the highest level salesman at like fucking Nordstrom who's trying to get you to upgrade to the $600 shoes. You imagine that. You imagine that guy. No, but you imagine that guy when shit's really on the line. They're not going to send some fucking dumbass. They send the dude with the silver fucking tongue, and he's going to tell the president who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing because he's a goddamn
dipshit.
He's a reality show shit. You know what I mean? Like, so they're, it's fucking blood in the water. So he comes in, he goes, Mr. Trump, President Trump, I need to tell you something, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're going to have this whole package, and he's just like, he listens to advisors and, what should I do? What should I do? But they all know, like, they all know he doesn't, He has no clue about policy and anything, any kind of thing that could
Our
happen
math,
down the road. And so
our
he probably doesn't
writing.
even know. No, I'm not even blaming. Like, I don't think he maliciously is like, well, sure, let me do that because I think in a few years we'll cause a whole worldwide pandemic and fuck the world. No, he didn't. He didn't do that. He didn't know what the fuck he was signing. They got him. You know what I mean? Just like whatever the fuck else happens.
Right.
That's what. And then what's that happens when you elect you don't elect. You know what I mean? A government affair. You elect a celebrity to the fucking office.
Yeah. I mean,
That's what
that's truly what happens. So for all you fucking Trumpers out there, just remember, your savior, he literally approved it. And you want to hear the fucked up part? He approved the gain of function research funding, but then
He probably didn't even know what it
reduced
meant.
no, bro.
Didn't even
He
know what that
reduced
is.
the spending and took out the pandemic task force. So he increased spending on virus manipulation and then took out the task force that was funded to be prepared for pandemics.
He didn't take it out.
He
didn't know what
did.
it was signed.
He did, dude. He fucking did it. He
didn't take it
It was like
out.
a double negative, except this time it doesn't make a positive. It causes a fucking pandemic.
He
I
cleared the
think
way.
that group
Cleared
was
the
on his way out
path.
already.
Dude, no,
Cleared the
bro.
path.
It's everywhere. That's what he did. He took out the task force and then he paid for them to manipulate a virus. Good fucking going. Yeah. I mean, dude, it's pretty fucking bad. Let's be honest.
Well, anyway, he's gonna come back in 2024 and fix this whole shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the next it's gonna be super AIDS or something.
You know what he needs to
Super
fix?
hidden.
You know what he needs to fix? And I think
What's that?
Biden is well on his way to fixing this. The climate.
Oh yeah.
If we continue
Ooh,
to
I like
pollute
this.
our environment, we will suffer
Wow.
the consequences and we will all die. But the problem is, it won't be us. It'll be our grandchildren's grandchildren, and the world will be uninhabitable. But we don't give a fuck because we need to continue to pollute it in order to make money to keep this whole house of cards stacked. And so it doesn't all fall apart. So there's no way we're going to do it. So we're just going to make little baby steps and we're going to create a whole theater and a fucking illusion to make you think that we're actually doing something about it. But when we really don't
Nothing's
give a fuck,
happening.
because but nothing's happening, dude. This is all bullshit. It's in Glasgow, Scotland. They're worried. They're more arguing about whether it's fucking wheelchair accessible or not. That was a big rant.
I like
But
it. I
world
like
leaders, China not included, mind you, are trying to discuss
India.
what's the best, or India, right? So it's not like they don't cause any of the shit. So why
They
would
don't.
fucking
No,
be
of course not.
yeah,
They
not
clearly,
at all.
they
Society's
clearly
not
do
open.
not.
Not at all. Not at all. China's only the, like, whatever we said earlier about the United States leading the world in GDP. That's how China leads in pollution. Second place is like everybody else combined. So
Everybody else combined.
basically, but yeah. So
Well, here's the thing. This is how you know they're not serious. They don't discuss plastic.
Right.
That's how you know that.
Plastic in the
yes, 'cause
oceans.
right? You don't want to piss off
I
people
mean-
that they're going to make money.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they don't talk about plastics.
It's a
No one wants to get
fucking
rid of them because
It's
they're
a
cheap to make.
charade.
It is a charade.
Yeah,
it is
it is a charade. All they talk about is taxing.
fucking charade.
How can we tax people on the name of climate change? And then we got a new tax or whatever. So
They
I
asked.
also think go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I didn't want to kind of derail it that much, but it's kind of like it's an opportunity for these people to talk this big shit, throw this big money at it, and talk about. That's the theme of this show, is like the big $1 billion. I'm gonna throw $2 billion at this. I'm gonna throw like they like the pop of that bee when they throw that shit around.
True.
They do, man. Yeah, we're not there yet.
Trillion.
It'll be common in 20. Mark my words. By 2030, we'll be talking about trillionaires because that's how it's accelerating. but that's a whole nother podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
It's fucking accelerating.
But what I mean here is that, it's all a dog and pony show. Nothing's gonna actually happen.
Well, gas prices might go up more.
Yeah, true.
Right. About it.
Very true.
Hey, but you know what? Also, the UN did. The UN asked every billionaire in the world to donate $6 billion,
right,
to end world hunger. And
right.
Elon Musk shot back and said, "I will sell $6 billion worth of Tesla stock today if you open up your books and show me where all this money is going to go."
Right. And how that's going to solve world hunger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Please explain to me.
And they haven't done so yet. So
no, they haven't. And he called him out. Yeah, he goes, be transparent. He's like, I want to see your books. I want to see how this is going and what this is going to solve. I want to see the outline. What's the game plan?
He called for an open source information for these kinds of programs. And he said that if he were to be given that and shown where every dollar was going to end world hunger, he would give $6 billion today.
Right.
Can you believe that the UN could have $6 billion had they just opened up their books?
Well, okay.
They tweeted him. No,
that's bullshit. Though, right?
The first move they make, and I forgot dude's name, but he tweeted and was like, "I'm on the first flight over. Like, exactly. Tell me when to meet you. Like a big show, bro. But what are you talking about publicly?
Yep.
Nobody wants us talking about anything publicly because there's." Yeah,
I know.
It ain't gonna happen. They're not gonna fucking solve world hunger. They're not gonna fix that climate. We're all gonna die.
He called them out, man. He called them out, and he said, "I can give you a solution to your problem if you're just open and transparent and honest." And they haven't.
Right? Like that's not even. That's not.
It's like
an option.
Fuck, man. I thought you were gonna give me money.
$6. There's a price tag. I'm gonna give you right now a price. I got a fucking my pen. My fingers are on the pen. The check's right here. I'm about to write 6 with a B. If you motherfuckers would just tell me how you run your opera. Oh no, I can't do that.
Exactly.
$6 billion, dude.
Oh, bro. That's so fucking sad. It is. It's so fucking sad.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. We'll chill.
He's fucking guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Is there another way? Can you maybe give us like one?
Can I go talk to you? Can I go to your office right now?
Yeah, can I talk to you in private for 1.2?
It's so fucking sad. But the reality is your guy. It's 100% right. Someone started talking shit, and he just said, "Oh, fucking really? Okay." So here. The 6 billion is like the change in my fucking in my car pocket. That's the change that I find whenever I'm searching under my seats for like fucking shit. So here, take my change, solve world hunger, motherfucker. And guess what? They're like, because it's stupid. Like people, that's the funny part is even if they had the 6 billion, they would probably waste 80% of it on bureaucracy. Right.
Hey, why don't we do that for the U.S. government? We're like, look, I'll give you money for taxes if you open up your books and show me where every dollar's going.
Oh, you know that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen, dude. You know exactly what's gonna fucking happen, bro. They're gonna be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Oh, you want to talk to one of these IRS agents? They'll tell you exactly where it's going. Right up your ass.
Hey, exactly. hey, you know the other thing is too. Ask those agents in the last 6 weeks.
The ones that got the stuff up their ass.
Yeah, ask those dudes. Ask them this. Say, tell me, brother, in the last 6 weeks, 5 days, 2 weekend days, that's 7 days, right? Times 6, 5. In the last 30 business days, or 6 weeks of what the fuck am I talking about? How many days? How many
middle word.
Delete, middle word.
I've got a conclusion. How many days have you worked?
A lot.
In those last 6 weeks. No, not you. Fucking stupid. I know.
Oh, the IRS agents?
Yeah. How many days have you worked? How many days have you actually done fucking anything? Guarantee it. Drum roll. Here's what they're going to say. 2. Oof. You know how I know that? Because I know somebody, and I won't air him out, but I know somebody who's very close proximity, who works for the government and has, in my opinion, I would say a pretty important job. I think he goes into work maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I'm not even bullshitting at all. I'm sure he logs into his fucking computer and does 1 or 2 things from home. It's absurd how little he's doing. And he's just one person. This is a big ass country of over 300 million people. I don't know how many government employees there are. But if this gentleman is indicative of the trend, it's a pretty sad state of affairs. And with that, I think we are about to take a break here. So give everybody a chance to take a pee and buckle up for the second half. A little party in the back. I think
the second half is over. Fucking gangster. These fucking election results are rolling in.
We got some fun stuff back for the second half of the program. So stay tuned. Listen to some tunes by my boy Jeremy Masters, if you will. And we will see you shortly, unless you guys got anything to add on before we put the stamp on the halftime. No? We're good. All right, we're good. We'll see you in a couple. And we're right back in your mouth for the second half, party in the back. And let's get some big news from Virginia, Ben.
I got it out of my eye. Goodness. All right, go ahead.
You got a little bit in your eye? That's all right. I mean,
he's just crying. It's that tear of happiness. Yeah, it's looking like the Republicans pulled it off. It's been projected. Youngkin will be winning as the next Virginia governor, which will now be a Republican.
Wow.
Huge implications, guys. Very big implications. So for all the liberal listeners out there, this is what happens when you let your party pick your candidates and when you don't go against them for doing so. Biden has completely poisoned the well for anybody who's running in the Democratic Party, unless you're part of a stronghold. You will not, if there's a closely contested race right now, you're going to lose, which is clearly evident. I mean, the New Jersey governor, same thing. Republican currently is 25,000 votes ahead. They're only saying 78% reporting, but that's not looking too good either. So this is what happens when you let your party pick your candidates. If Bernie Sanders was the president today, this wouldn't have been a problem at all.
Well, no, I don't know, Bernie Sanders. If you would have had the Democratic candidate that the people chose be the president, it could have been Bernie. It could have been, any one of the other candidates. Even
Bernie. It would have been Bernie.
Even the old lady. What's her name?
Yeah. Which one? Oh,
Senator.
Globe. Oh, Annie. Oh,
Klobuchar.
She wasn't gonna win.
Okay, anybody that the people would have picked, this wouldn't have happened, right?
Right.
I mean,
no, I would say
basically,
that. Yeah.
yeah. But basically, everyone got taken out for the Democratic race with promises, some sort of a bribe or whatever, and they said, "Look, let Biden be, and let him defeat Bernie."
Yep.
And look what happened. So anyway.
And it's huge. And guess what? Here we are, once again, in a predicament where the Democrats are going to completely lose power. I mean, everyone, the reality is we're about to have a Republican Congress. I don't know necessarily about the Senate, but for sure the House of Representatives. I think the House of Representatives for sure. And we're about to really have a lame duck president. All the while, we have Democrats who can't even work together. I mean, the party did it to itself. I mean, I've never, the self-destruction has been unbelievable.
The infrastructure bill, man. They can't even get that shit together in the House and the Senate. Okay, the Democrats within the House, they can't. You got the far left progressives versus their traditional Democrats battling it out with social programs that they want to include in there. They don't want to include in there the price tag, this and that. Republicans have said nothing about this whole thing, man. They're just staying out of it. They're like, look, we're going to vote no on this thing, so just leave us out. Right. So all the infighting is between the Dems.
Yep.
In the Senate, you have Joe Manchin and Christian Sinema who don't like the price tag of this thing and don't think it's necessary right now, which is true. We don't need $1 trillion infrastructure plan because we can't get anything and no one wants to work anyway. We don't need this. We need to save that money to plan for a disaster. What if we have an uptick of the pandemic? What if there's another virus that comes up? And we have to use this money to give out to people again. We're going to hit inflation like crazy if we get another disaster. We don't need this infrastructure plan right now.
Right. And I have to state that that's a big deal, right? That what you're saying is not incorrect. We're right now focusing on something like an infrastructure bill, but what is that infrastructure bill really going to do for the common American? Nothing. Because once again, if you look at it, it's just going to go to major corporations and bureaucrats that are juiced in, that are going to get these public sector building bills. And guess what? No one's going to get shit from it. I mean, yeah, they're going to say, oh, we're going to give you the child care credit, $300. Okay. But the reality is, in the end, no one's helping anybody. Once again, and we're being oversighted by these large government bills. I have to agree. But the Dems can't even work together.
$300 is a trip to Whataburger for a family of 17.
Is that right?
That's all that is.
That's pretty good.
That's just kind of estimate. That's a guesstimation math right there. But calculate it for me. See if you think that's about right.
You're right. Let me see here.
I mean, it's ballpark. It's ballpark. Maybe 2.
No, dude. No. Hold on. What?
Family of 17.
$17 per person. Maybe a family of 450.
But
I was just kidding.
But once again, this is where we're at, right? We have done it again. The Dems had a power. Same thing happened with Obama. The Dems had all the power. They got Obamacare passed, which, if you really look in the aspects of history, it wasn't as bad of a bill as everyone tries to say. At least it tried to help the common person. This infrastructure bill will do nothing for anybody. It will do nothing for nothing. It's just going to be, let's make other people rich while acting like we're doing something for normal people. It does nothing. It's going to do nothing. The community college part has been taken out. The paid leave has been taken out. What do we have left, really? Except for, we're going to build a bunch of roads and shit. Well, that's just all bureaucracy. That's just money changing hands to richer people. It's just sad.
Well, they're going to build roads when the asphalt becomes available. And we have crew working on it. So, That'll happen eventually.
For sure.
Sometime.
And what else will happen eventually is that they'll build trains. Trains that you may one Halloween decide to dress up like a Joker, pending that you're
oh my god
of the Japanese persuasion, and start getting a little stabby and setting fires.
Wait, before we move on to that, there was this one. Okay, there was this one Brett Biden nominee. I don't know if I ever told you guys about this. A couple of weeks ago, Biden's nominees for judges and so forth, they were being interviewed, and they were all horrible. They were getting roasted by the Republicans in the Senate. I mean, roasted. It was bad, to the point where they had to apologize for what they said, or they didn't have an answer.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really bad. But there was this one lady who was being interviewed for, and she was in the Treasury Department. I don't know what she was doing. And usually, you know, I kind of look at this as a comedic thing, but this lady actually had a really great idea. And the reason I researched her was because Republicans were talking about her like a communist, because she went to like the Lenin School of, I don't know, business or whatever in Russia.
Yeah, that sounds pretty communist.
You know, I mean,
and not every university in Russia, aren't they all called the Lenin Institute?
You've got a degree.
You know, she actually had a business degree, economics degree from like the Lenin School of Business or something up in Russia. But this lady had a really great idea. I was very surprised because I had to listen to her, because the Republicans were talking about her like she was a dog, you know? And whenever they get personal, they don't have any substance, that's when you know there's something going on there. And so, let me see if I can find her name, dude. I don't know why I forgot her name. I was going to bring this up a few shows ago.
Her name was Dog.
Her plan.
They treat her like a dog. You see if they started like put a leash on her and walked her around the rotunda.
Her plan was to... Okay, you know how the government has these infrastructure bills passed, and nobody knows where the money goes to, and it's big waste for everybody. Well, her plan was to turn these infrastructure bills and turn them into investments for the American people, where the American people would actually see a return on their investment. So Congress spends $1 trillion on roads, and every road has a toll booth or whatever. Then the American people would see that as a return on investment. So anyway, it was a very interesting concept on how she would treat these bills, and how this money just goes out to people and there's no accountability. But in her plan, there would be accountability and there would be a return on investment. Anyway, it was a really good plan. And I think that's where we're talking about trains. So people, if the government would spend money on trains, people would see a return on investment over time. And maybe we could lower taxes, or it could be self-generating income. Anyway, I mean, go ahead.
For sure. I've got a degree in security from the KGB Institute of Mekka.
I have a degree. The degree in the breaking of the hands.
Fuck that. This is Russia.
I know. Yeah. This is Russia. I don't think I necessarily trust these degrees from the Leninist Institute of Business. I mean, dude, we just let the fucking wolf in the door with that one. Nice. But and one more thing before we move on to the to our Joker friend. Let's go, Brandon.
Hell yeah. Okay. Let's go, Brandon.
It's so fucking stupid. If you want to say fuck Joe Biden, just say fuck Joe Biden. Right? Why do you have to go around with this just arcane, like,
well, do you know almost the whole like story, right?
Yeah. It's the fucking NASCAR driver and shit. Right. Why don't you just say fuck Joe Biden? That's better than like, let's go, Brandon. Our secret little joke. We're all together in it. You sound like some fucking niptards. Let's go, Brandon. That really means fuck Joe Biden. You know what it sounds like? That's a fucking bitch ass boomer joke. That's what it is. If you can't just say fuck Joe Biden,
I think
you're a fucking D-bag.
I think you just created a whole thing. Right? I've never heard niptards.
That's what they are. They're niptards, dude.
I've never heard that.
It's
have you heard that before? Or did you just make that up?
I just made that up.
I like
it's magical. Thank you.
I think we struggle.
Look, if you have to say niptards, and you can't say retard.
No,
I don't know what your
No, that's what I'm
problem is.
saying.
No, my
It's-
reference to
he-
niptard
no,
is a
dude, 'cause
different
it, like,
game, bro.
It
not the same
straddles, dude. It straddles every subset of the fucking pie
Exactly.
graph or whatever. What do they call the graph when it's like
Venn diagram and shit.
yes, dude, it straddles every
Fucking nice.
area of fucking responsibility from the Venn diagram.
It's like how many
It's
people
like,
can I
but you
piss
know
off
what it-
with one word?
Or
That's
not,
what I was trying
but
to
still be safe.
do. Exactly.
That's what it is.
So, anyways,
God damn.
if you have
Fucking-
let's go, Brandon. You're a fucking niptard. And honestly, give me a break. Like it's so cute. We're so it's our private joke.
Okay, here's the
so
thing, though.
stupid. It's so mundane.
Conservative, red-leaning people aren't vulgar like liberals. Okay,
Really?
There was
Did
a
you
fuck
not
Trump
see
movement,
January 6th, right? The Capitol
Okay.
riot.
But I didn't hear anyone cuss. All right,
Oh,
so
really?
anyway, yeah.
Dude, NASCAR
anyway.
is all of Trump's whole team. They were literally saying "fuck Joe Biden." So your
Okay,
vulgarity argument, not really good.
Well, the thing is that in order to keep saying it in the public domain and for everyone to hear it without being censored, you say, let's go, Brandon. And
That's
besides,
so
you
whack.
illustrate.
That's so whack.
You illustrate how the media's trying to cover the shit
Oh
up
my
too.
God, that's like
Oh, they're not
Christian
saying-
rap. That's what it
they're
sounds
not
like. That's like
saying-
Christian rap. That
They're
it's
not saying
just so
fuck Joe Biden. They're
fucking
saying let's go,
whack.
Brandon. Look at that, and
No,
just
dude,
acknowledge it. People
it's
fucking hate
ins-
Joe Biden.
Exactly. Just say, I hate Joe Biden. I'd respect you if you said that, but let's go, Brandon. I mean, how that sounds? It sounds so fucking, it's just so moronic and stupid. And I love how they're like those fucking people that think they're getting away with something dirty because every time they say it, they're like, oh, I got him. I got him. He's got him. You know what? Fuck you.
Wait,
If you
can you-
can't just say fuck Joe Biden, you need an enema and you need to like go slap somebody and just get the shit beat out of you because it's not funny. It's dumb. Just fucking say fuck Joe Biden. I'll say it for you. Fuck Joe Biden. There. That's
There you
how
have
an
it.
adult talks about somebody. Not like, he go Brandon and then have stickers and a
okay,
t-shirt.
but can you say fuck Joe Biden on the House floor?
Yeah.
You can't. No,
Yes, you
you
can.
can't.
Yeah, you can.
You probably get expelled.
By who?
But you can say let's go,
Wait,
Brandon.
dude, no. Marjorie Taylor Greene is still on the House floor after all the things she said. Yeah,
South Carolina
it's-
Representative Jeff Duncan said, "Let's go, Brandon," because
Because-
he couldn't say "fuck Joe Biden."
Let's
on the
pull
House
up.
floor.
Okay, what's his name? Let's pull up a picture of this esteemed
What,
colleague
Jeff Duncan?
from Jeff Duncan. Let's see how Jeff Duncan
South Carolina?
looks. Dude, he already sounds like a child molester. But let's take a look at Jeff Duncan.
Man, that's rushed judgment. but okay.
Oh, bro, Jeff Duncan is not only a child, dude, he has molested all the children. Like this guy looks like a D-bag. And let's go, Joe. Let's go, Brandon.
He's
dude.
a chomo.
Oh,
You can't say that.
dude,
You can't say
Chomo
fuck
to
Joe Biden
level
on the House
9.
floor.
He's a level 9 Chomo. Okay, with double secret security access. Okay, he's he's pointing the camera through the fence. Okay, like this guy is just pure madness. So Jeff Duncan, the esteemed colleague. Let's see, he's 55, boomer. Let's see, let's look up let's look up his illustrious history. Let's look up his Wikipedia. Let's see. He is he's a rapist. This is from Wikipedia. Hold on. According to Wikipedia, okay, he's a rapist. He rapes animals. Okay,
Wait.
not only humans but
Wait,
animals.
what
Dude,
are
this
we
is Wikipedia.
Okay, you guys said allegedly up in this
Oh
shit.
no,
Now. You don't wanna get
no,
sued.
dude. I'm allegedly, according to Wikipedia. Let's see. He particularly likes cattle and horses, and he was the original actor in the Mr. Hands video.
Mr. Hands. What the fuck is
Yeah.
that?
You know, that's that video
Google
where that
shit,
horse. No, don't Google it. I'm gonna
Rick.
save
Just
you.
kidding.
That's that video where that horse literally like like rams a guy to death?
Oh,
Yeah, so
I
he
had
was the
no idea
original
that
actor.
existed.
It says it allegedly here in Wikipedia that that's what he likes. So this is the esteemed colleague that says, "Let's go, Brandon." So yeah, dude, if you can't just say the words, just don't say anything because it's not cute. It kind of makes you look dumber than you already are. So moving on.
It's acceptable.
It's acceptable if you're chomo, or if you like worship, like, you know, if you sit, you know, if you go to 2419 and, you know, you want a lease and a key, that's Jeff Duncan. That's Let's Go, Brandon. But anyways, moving on. So Ben, so tell us about this situation.
No,
Tell us about where we're at.
Public transportation. Japanese individual decided to. Well, it was Halloween, right? So it wasn't unusual that he was dressed in costume, specifically like the Joker from Batman.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Purple suit and all that kind of good shit.
What is up with that?
Had a knife and went a little stabby in the trains and got, I don't know what the total death count. I mean, multiple injuries. But not only did he stab a couple people, he started a fire. And he had stated, all signs point to this guy's not quite right in the mental department, but he said that he was trying to commit suicide. Basically, so there's a thing in Japan, right? They're pretty harsh on death penalty,
right?
So he was gonna, I guess he had thoughts of suicide, and one way to go about it is to kill a bunch of people in public, or at least attempt to, and then he'd get either cops to take his life, or he'd
suicide by cop, kind of
suicide by cop. Yeah, so that's what he did, and injured a fuckload of people in the process. And they got eerie video of him sitting there smoking, waiting for the cops to come to take him in. So Japan is interesting because
you don't hear this too much from Japan.
No, I mean, it's generally known as a very, very safe place in terms of crime. Not a lot of guns going on, not a lot of gunfire, but they do have the occasional crazy mass murder situation. Very similar.
And on trains.
There's some similarities to the US with crazy shit like that, only we have
guns.
Crazy amounts of right. So the death toll here is very much higher because of that, just because the weapon of choice happens to be something that's a lot more effective than a blade. But it's interesting to make the comparison between the two cultures and the people going crazy like this. Because at the end of the day, like whatever tool you use, the problem is that a citizen had such a fucking crazy meltdown that his intent is to end the life of a bunch of random people that have nothing to do with him and his life. Right. That's what we're really getting at. It's one thing if somebody has a beef with somebody and they lose their temper or they shoot them. I mean, that's bad. But when it's random acts of violence, like, hey, I just fuck everybody, you know, got up screaming, fuck the world, like Pac or whatever. Right. And you go and you just start stabbing random people at a train that might have been your best friend in another scenario, but you don't give a fuck because you're just like, I'm gonna fucking fuck people up.
I don't know, man. I mean, some dude showing up on Houston Metro with a knife trying to stab you. That's just Tuesday, you know?
Well, that's true. And that's going to end very quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's going to last 4 minutes.
Won't get a chance to set any fires.
Not even 4 minutes. It's going to be 4 seconds. First off, he's going to pull out the knife and someone's going to be like, are you fucking joking? What is this? Is this the Renaissance?
Exactly.
I have something that fires projectiles past the speed of sound. You're going to use what I use to cut my steak with? Okay, fuckface. Let's find out.
You're going to call HPD. You're going to be like, some dudes with here on the bus trying to stab people with a knife. Oh, yeah, a knife? Yeah.
Cool.
Is there anything else going on? No? Can't you stop him?
Yeah. It's like, wait, don't you have a gun?
Yeah, we could try.
Yeah, don't you have a gun?
Make sure he's dead because we don't want to do more paperwork. Okay.
Right. It's simpler. It's less papers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. So, Japanese people got to get used to it, man. I mean,
they just better get thicker skin, guys.
Just get thicker skin, literally.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Get thicker skin, exactly.
Well, oh boy. Well, you know, but as Ben was also echoing, this has been an issue. But this also was another train incident in Japan where the what was it? I believe it was I forgot the name of the cult, something of the sun.
Whoa!
So yeah, remember they released a neurotoxin in the Japanese railways. I think this was 2000 or 2000 something. It was basically this crazy cult leader. I forgot the exact name of the cult, but they actually released a neurotoxin, and they had actually had this elaborate plan where they set up these neurotoxin in these bottles with fans attached. And unfortunately, I think it killed a couple of people, but one of them was actually a janitor who thought it was just a chemical being spilt on the ground. So he started mopping it up. And he, of course, died because of the amount of exposure. But all the devices malfunctioned. But it could have literally killed thousands because they timed them to go off during the Tokyo rush hour. I forgot the name of this group, but yeah, this type of mass violence, unfortunately, is in totally different circumstances. You have just some whack nut who was trying to do suicide by cop. And did you see the video of him smoking a cigarette?
Yeah, it's just creepy, dude.
Crazy. Just sitting there smoking a cigarette, like fuck, like literally in like became the Joker in a way, like an individual who was there to create pure chaos. It was pretty crazy, man. So I was pretty tripped out about that. I thought that was nuts, man. I thought that was really, really just madness, man. I mean, not as much, not as much shade as we get whenever we talk about Jetpack Man, but he's back in the news, guys.
Is he still back? Is he back?
Well,
the discussion's back.
Is he back, or is it just Pumpkin Jack in the sky as the fucking?
So almost, I don't know if it was almost a year ago, but we covered. Almost about a calendar year ago, we covered a story from the Los Angeles area where sightings were reported, multiple sightings reported of what witnesses described as a gentleman, a male in a jetpack flying over fucking LAX airspace in, no-go fly zones for safety reasons, safety purposes only. But there was somebody in a fucking jetpack. They never could identify him. Nothing never came. The public knowledge was, we don't know what the fuck this is. Nothing ever came out. So almost a year later, or maybe it is a year, maybe it's over a year, I don't know, roughly a year later, the reports are coming out now that, we've ruled out a bunch of things, and what we think it was a Jack Skellington from what the fuck's the movie?
They're trying to say it like from Nightmare Before Christmas,
day before Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So Jack, it's just it's like, I'm sure it's like, it's November 1st. It's like right after Halloween, so it would make sense that these spooky decorations are floating around. So that's what it was. It was a balloon. Wasn't a guy on a jetpack. What the dude? Get the fuck out of here. It took him a year. It took him a year to be like, what the fuck could we possibly say? Oh, I know. It was right after Halloween. Somebody was having a Halloween party. Some Jack Skellington balloons got loose in the LAX airspace, and it was reported on by all kinds of fucking people.
3 times too. 3 times. How many Halloween parties you have? 3 fucking times. I mean, when else have we heard this balloon?
Those shits cost fucking $75 to $100 at Party City or whatever the fuck. You're just gonna
figure out that it was.
You couldn't figure out how to tie. You couldn't figure out how to tie that thing to a rail.
Yeah. You know how many balloons reach 5,000-10,000 feet pretty easily. I mean, what kind of
little Halloween party
went to work on this shit? I mean, but it sounds just like the Roswell, right? I mean, they couldn't even come up with a new one. 1948 by the balloon. Now they're fucking saying, "Oh, this was
on every time.
This is the Pumpkin King balloon," and then they had some shitty balloon that they're like, "See, we've seen this before."
I'm not an aeronautical or aeroscience engineer.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I am 100%. I am. As declared here on episode 72 of Skip the Noise podcast. But I will say this: a balloon doesn't quite navigate the friendly skies in the same mannerisms that would a human being operating a jetpack.
Yeah.
Just saying, I don't think it's really that close. So, in other words, no reports came out of, oh, you know what's in the sky right now? Now that I'm flying around here and I can see it, it's actually a Jack Skellington balloon that's probably from a Halloween party. No, nobody fucking said that a year ago.
Nope.
It took them a year to figure out, oh, maybe that's what we should come up with. And drum roll, what's your answer for what's in the fucking sky that everybody thinks is a guy in a jetpack? Oh, it's a balloon.
Jack the
Pumpkin. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Which is just total dog shit.
And everyone's gonna be like, oh, haha, it's Halloween. Terrific.
It's Halloween.
Yeah.
It's a cute little Halloween story to cap the night off on your local news.
And do you think when they actually, like, whenever the person who has to write the copy for this story, they're just like, oh God, they could at least come up with something better than this shit.
Yeah,
I mean, they're literally saying it's Jack the Pumpkin King. I mean, it's fucking sad. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with this crazy world of just madness? And occasionally, aren't there douchebags when you get haircuts?
Dude, they really are.
Dude, does that happen? I mean, do you know of an instant where this has occurred, Benjamin James?
Man.
Is this something that's kind of happened in your life? You know, to round off this podcast to send us on home.
You know,
are there douchebags when you get haircuts?
It is so interesting that you bring that up.
Really?
Because I had a feeling
about this story.
I do have to tell you that earlier this week, I was indeed getting a haircut. I got there early, as I normally do. I don't like to wait for shit like that. So I normally get there early. So I was the first customer in the door, sat down, first chair available. Gonna go ahead and take a gander and say probably the best barber in the place, you know, just based on she was ready to get the haircut going. So I got there first.
Wait.
First dibs.
I like this qualification. So wait. Hold on a second.
I knew you'd get excited.
Pump the brakes. I'm just gonna do a quick interjection. So wait, the qualifications of this being the best barber due to her readiness, I don't know if I necessarily agree with this qualification, sir. So, okay. So why was she so ready?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Some people like to make money. They like to go over that tips. I'm guessing she saw me walk through the door.
She wanted your tip.
Her mind did some revolutions. She figured out that I was perhaps someone who would tip generously. And jumped right on it, man. Got the computer fired up. They still had to turn lights on. Didn't say any of that, sir.
American?
Didn't say any of that. I did not imply any of that. I simply said that I might have reflected, someone who have provided a good tip.
Oh,
so there I sat getting my haircut.
Was the tip all over her face?
When shortly thereafter, the second customer of the day for this establishment so boldly walks through the door, and he's just body language is pointing towards douche immediately. And I didn't really pay much. I took a glance over. He's being kind of loud and hey, how you doing? So he sits down, starts getting his haircut. Right in the chair next to me, mind you, just to the right of me, and his designated hairstylist is starting to begin the haircut, and he says immediately, he goes, "Want to hear some crazy shit?" So I was like, all right. Oh. So I look like in the mirror at my barber, and we kind of like okay, like this could be interesting. This is a nice little break from the monotonous kind of small talk that you get in with your barber that you don't know that well. Like maybe you've seen before, but it's not you're not to level 2 yet. It's just kind of like
It's a level
fucking
2.
crazy weather, whatever. So it's kind of like a boring conversation. And then all of a sudden this guy's like, want to hear some crazy shit? Yes, we do, sir. We actually do. So I kind of looked at her like, okay, like kind of the affirmation, like, all right, this could be interesting. So we both quieted. Like our conversation stopped now to focus our attention on what the fuck ever he thought was crazy shit. So he says to her, he goes, well, started dating twins recently. Okay. Nice. You have my attention.
Nice.
So he goes on and he says, I'm not going to be able to recap every single douchey thing he said that made me laugh just because of memory. I can't remember. So I'll kind of touch on the highlights. So as he starts talking, I'm not in the mood to like, I'm just like, okay, I'm entertained. I was visibly smiling and laughing. So I wasn't, in other words, I wasn't being like, like shy about, I was just openly enjoying this and I was laughing and kind of shared a joke with the girl cutting my hair. Cause I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are we about to hear? So he goes, yeah. So the girl asked like, oh, well, how's that work? They're twins. Like, you mean both of them? And he goes, yeah, they're polyamorous. Okay.
Nice.
Good.
Were they bi?
Interesting.
Obviously, I guess.
Polyamorous and bi. Okay.
So here's what I'm getting to. He said a bunch of other douchey shit too, but I just, memory doesn't serve me to remember every detail. But here's the things I remember. So she asked him, she says, hey, so, how's that work? What happens if the relationship progresses if you want to marry one? Can you do that? Like, is there anywhere you can do that? And like, I laugh. I was like, that's fucking brilliant. Like, beautiful question. So kudos to her.
Right. She's fucking running this.
No. Yeah. I was like, this is great. Like she's doing this. Like she's poking the bear. She wants to entertain us too. Like,
I'm pretty sure this is the most fucked up shit she's ever heard. Man.
Oh
no, for sure. That's the thing too, right?
No,
like they hear, I'm sure they hear a lot of fucking bullshit, right? So yeah, and she's not really like no eyebrows raised at this point. It's just like, all right, keep going, dude.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I got they're polyamorous. She says, oh yeah, what happens if you want to get married? Well, I don't, blah blah blah. I don't think I'm really looking to go that far with it. He's like, I'm not saying they're not intelligent, but how should I put this? Maybe a little bit on the gold digger side. And that made me laugh too. And I, like, mind you too, I'm openly like I'm audibly laughing at this whole thing. And like not trying to hide it at all. Like this is shit, this is funny shit. And he's like, but he's broadcasting, right? He wants everybody to know about his little fucking crazy relationship with twins.
Nice.
Like a little trophy. Yeah. And then so he goes, but here's the funny part. This is what I want to get to. She goes, well, do they, like, they're sisters, right? Like they're twins, obviously. Like, do they get jealous or how's that? And he goes, well, this is awesome. He goes, well, sometimes I'll finish in one and then the other one will get jealous. And that's when I was like, all right, motherfucker. Like, you can just shut the fuck up,
bro.
Get the fuck out of this barbershop. Shut the fuck up. You're a douchebag. What?
Ben, don't be mad. You're fucking hating, bro. You wish you could finish in one of the twins and then the other one be like, I wanted that. I wanted all that milk.
I'm not discounting that. I'm not on one level. Okay, we're in relation. But come on.
Yeah.
Act awesome. Like you've been there, like just like in football, right? You score a touchdown. Don't do a whole Russian troika with your knees kicking out. Like spike the ball, get excited, bump your chest a little bit. Act like you've scored a touchdown before.
Russian troika.
Dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
With your twins. I'm impressed to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I respect these twins.
No, at all.
Or we don't know what these twins look like. Hey,
oh, bro.
He didn't really get into that.
Yeah.
He didn't really get into that, mind you.
The Chef Boyardee twins.
That's that's one of the factors that he left out, or at least I didn't. I mean, I'll guarantee you this. We'll wrap the story up. I know we got to go. Last thing I'll say is I guarantee you this, though.
Cellophane.
Next time I go, when it's time for my next haircut in maybe a week or so, I definitely will ask how did that story conclude? Because I was a little upset, and I even said something like, "Oh, damn! Like, why is my haircut? Like, why has it got to be over now? Like, I kind of want to hear the rest of this guy's bullshit." But nonetheless, that was kind of funny.
That's
A
dope.
little funny, you know.
No, it is. I
Yeah,
like it.
you know,
I like it.
if the guy's paying for it because they're gold
But it's
diggers,
true.
I'd broadcast it too. I'd be like, yeah,
I guess
I'm paying
so.
for that shit.
I mean,
you know?
well, that's just part of his. Yeah, that's
Oh,
about how he
yeah.
gets his value.
I mean,
out of the
I
whole thing.
own that. That's
Well,
that's
right.
how I would see
There's
it.
a little bit of a
What the fuck?
reputation
It always
that
has to
comes
go
with
to
that.
own with you. You just
I own
can't,
that. I'm
you can't
paying
just
for
have a
that.
service. You can't just have a
I
service.
know, it's
You have
always
to
a
just
business.
Own it.
It's
Jeez.
always a business with this.
I mean,
guy.
the
Could
return
be
on
love.
investment is horrible.
It could
but
be
whatever,
love.
man.
It could be love.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be love.
Could be
That's
love.
what
I think it is love. You know what?
It is.
Fuck everybody. Fuck everybody. I believe in this
Exactly.
guy, and I like his
do.
spirit, and I think that he's really in for a treat. And I think
and
it's like
beautiful.
Oh yeah.
double, like the double mint commercials
Oh,
back in the
yeah,
day.
bro.
Double your pleasure, double your fun. You know,
But the real question is, how does he finish and not get them angry? That's the real kicker.
that's
See,
up,
like,
that's up
what
for
is
him
he
to decide.
doing? No. What is he doing? Like he said, like, oh, they get mad sometimes when I come in one of them and not the other one. Like,
Right.
how does he not get them both mad normally? Right? I mean, because you can only come really one time in
Right.
that transaction.
Unless you perfect it, and you're like, yeah, you can go several
I
times.
mean, is he like double dipping? Is he just like blowing a little and then blows the rest in another one?
Maybe.
I mean, dude,
maybe?
this is complicated. And
Or is that against the rules? Like, here's the thing too.
Exactly.
He didn't explain. Maybe it's just like, oh, you don't. Oh, then check this out. This is where it gets maybe
Telling
like
you.
you're actually
there's meat
it's
on
not,
this.
it's
bone,
not
bro.
a net zero equation or a zero sum equation. It might actually be reduced to the fact that, okay, well, I don't want to piss, but I'm not going to come in either one of them. I'm just going to blow it. You know what I mean? Like, do you see what I'm saying? So he actually loses.
He's like blowing loads on everyone.
Or
No, but he's not getting
or no one at all.
to go down and
Oh,
he's going tantric.
No, that's what I mean.
Nice.
So maybe that's his
What a
Yeah.
waste of a moment. I don't tantric. Like, I'm just gonna hold it in. Fuck you. Okay.
hey, don't start knocking on the
Getting that
the
shit out.
tantrum, my man.
I'm getting it
Don't
out,
start-
bro.
Don't
I'm
start.
getting it out.
Don't start knocking on the tantric.
I will. I'm gonna knock it out because I'm gonna go to
All
sleep.
right.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Well, and
But
we'll
with,
leave it at
with
that.
being said, where can they find us, B?
They can find us on Instagram at skip_the_noise_podcast. They can find us on Twitter at skip the noise PO1. They can get a hold of us via Gmail. If you've got a Google account, or if you got some other kind of email account, you want to send us a message, ask us something, whatever the fuck you want to send through that little portal of information. At skip the noise podcast. Or no, I'm sorry. Skip the noise podcast at gmail.com. Also, we're on Facebook. Nobody fucking does anything on Facebook. So just search us on Facebook. Because like nobody checks it out on fucking the metaverse. My bad, not Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg's playground of fucking satanic mind slavery. But anyway, that being said, it was a great show. I thought we had a good balance of informative behavior as well as some
great opinion pieces,
some opinion pieces, some life lessons. I didn't get a chance to read anything, which is I'm starting to really enjoy. But hope maybe next episode. We did get to rank the cities in Texas. That was fun.
Yep.
It wasn't planned. We improvised a little bit. We shed some light on some poignant issues around the world. And with that, we will lead you out into the music by one Mike Tacklebox. And unless you got anything to part with?
No,
Gentlemen?
just as long as we know that fucking DFW is right 966.
966.
Yeah.
It is.
966. Episode
indeed.
966, we'll name it DFW.
All right. That's a bet.
It's a bet.
Take that
All
to
right.
the bank.
All right, fuckers. Y'all get some good y'all got some good vibes. Hopefully you didn't get shot at in traffic, and keep it real, represent.